my French accent. Hello everybody, welcome on YouTube and welcome as well to the second day of the Inter-University Law Debate Tournament. My name is Royal Orange and together with my colleague Anna Maria Urbanova from the Corax Foundation organizing this competition, we'll have a match between two teams who already had their day one match 2 weeks ago. That is Sofia University in Bulgaria and Tallinn University of Technology in Estonia. So now I will give the floor to my colleague who will be starting and hosting the match.
Thank you very much. And again, welcome to both teams and also to the judges and to the viewers on YouTube. Both teams have received the topic at the same time 1 week ago. They have had the chance to prepare for both sides of the argument. They do not yet know which side they will have up until a few minutes after the introductions. So just a short reminder, the debate statement for today's match is all residents must be allowed to participate in an election or a referendum, even residents having a criminal record or those no longer living in the majority of the time in their country. So starting with the introductions of the teams, allow me to call Mr. Martin Kyuchkov from Sofia University.
Hello everybody, my name is Martin Kyuchukov. I'm in my third year pursuing my bachelor's degree in international relations, and I think that this is a great opportunity to develop our flexible skills in debating, and I wish everybody good luck.
Thank you very much and welcome from Tallinn University of Technology, Ms. Ilkana Alieva.
Hello, I'm Ilkana Alieva and I am second year bachelor student of law. Good luck to all of us.
Welcome. From Sofia University, Ms. Victoria Malinova.
Good evening. My name is Victoria Malinova. I'm so glad to see that everybody is encouraged about this competition. So am I. So thank you for this opportunity also to be here with all of you.
It's good to see you again. From Tallinn University of Technology, Ms. Tsolafello Emily Letage.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tsolafello, and I'm a second year student at Tallinn University of Technology. And good luck to all of us, I guess.
Welcome. From Sofia University, Mr. Svetlin Ivanchenko.
Good evening to all of you. My name is Svetlin Ivanchenko. I'm a third year law student at the University of Sofia, St. Clement Afriski, and it's really my pleasure being here for the second time. So wish everyone good luck.
Welcome. From Tallinn University of Technology, Ms. Zara Savimi.
Hello, my name is Zara Savimi. I'm a second year student of law at Tallinn University of Technology. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Both teams have a coach. At the current live session, we welcome also Ms. Sofia Donskaya, who is a participant from the previous edition, who coaches together with Ms. Maria Mechanova, also a participant from last year's edition, not currently live on the call. Welcome, Ms. Donskaya.
Thank you very much. So glad to see all of you again and having the opportunity to coach our team this year.
Welcome. And for Tallinn University of Technology, their coach is currently not present, but Mr. Evan Tsibulenko is the coach for the team. So I will be passing the floor to my colleague who will share his screen to open a randomizer algorithm that will assign the two positions for the teams.
Yes, indeed. I will share my screen in a few seconds. So you will be able to see the possible positions for both universities in the randomizer in a wheel with the 4 possibilities. So it means in a few seconds you will see as well on WebEx. Voila, I think now you can see. So as you can see, there is a position in favor for Sofia University, a position against for Sofia University, a position in favor for Tallinn University of Technology, position against for Tallinn University of Technology, against the motion, of course. So I click in the center now, and we'll know which position the universities will have for this match. So Sofia University will be having the position in favor, and as well will be starting the match, because each time the university who gets the position in favor will start the match. So as a consequence, Tallinn University of Technology, THIULDT, will defend the position against. So concretely, it means that Sofia University will defend the position that all residents must be allowed to participate in an election or referendum, even residents having a criminal record or those no longer living the majority of the time in the country. While THIULDT, Tallinn University of Technology, will defend the position that all residents must not be allowed to participate in an election or referendum, even residents having a criminal record or those no longer living the majority of the time in the country. So now you will have 5 minutes, so you will see the 5 minutes count down. During that moment, make sure that, my colleague wants to show the cards.
Yes, indeed. Just a short reminder, also for the judges and the audience, when you see a yellow card, it means the speaker has 30 seconds left of their speaking time. If you see a red card, your speaking time is over. Please feel free to comfortably conclude your last sentence, but please don't start a new one.
Voilà, you have 5 minutes, you can close your camera and microphone.
All right. So welcome back to both teams after the preparation period ended. We'll now start the graded and overseen part of the match. So Sofia University, you have 4 minutes for your opening statement.
May I confirm that I'm audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Great, thank you. Good evening to the judges and to our colleagues from the Tallinn University of Technology. On behalf of the Sofia University St. Clement Ohridski, I, Svetlana Ivanchenko, and my teammates Victoria Malinova and Martin Kuchukov will be arguing for the statement that all residents must be allowed to participate in an election or a referendum, even residents having a criminal record or those no longer living the majority of the time in their country. Democracy means rule of people, where people represent the origin of state's imperium. In modern-day world, this concept is visible via the institute of elections. Nevertheless, there are still groups of people, such as felons, those having criminal records, and expatriates, who are marginalized and deprived of voting rights. In this speech, we're going to support the state that this contradicts the general principle of direct and equal suffrage. In support of this thesis, we're going to present the following arguments. First and foremost, that suffrage is not a privilege, but it's a fundamental human right. In the next place, the right to vote will contribute to the protection and representation of felons, those having criminal records, and expatriates. The objective of our last argument is to prove that allowing felons, those having criminal records, and expatriates to vote will maintain the integrity and inclusivity of the society. To begin with the right to vote, which is a fundamental human right enshrined in lots of legal acts. For instance, in Article 25 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, it is envisaged that every citizen shall have the right to vote and to stand as a candidate at elections. Additionally, in Article 39 of the European Charter of Fundamental Human Rights, it is proclaimed that every citizen of the Union has the right to vote and to cast a ballot in elections. As evidenced above, suffrage has been outlined as a right and not as a privilege. On the other hand, privileges are special rights or advantages that a particular person or group of people has. If we accepted the right to vote to be a privilege, then it would come out that not all people are equal, which does not comply with the general principle of equality contained in Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now, proceeding to our second argument, we would like to say that letting citizens who have criminal records and even prisoners to vote is essential to legitimizing democracy, since democracy derives from all people and not only from free citizens. By not allowing felons and those having criminal records to vote, though, we deprive them of political protection, which violates Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Furthermore, in the case of Kulinski and Sibov versus Bulgaria, the European Court of Human Rights found that Article 3 of Protocol 1 of the European Convention of Human Rights has been violated because the applicants were deprived of their right to vote. In other words, by not allowing prisoners and those having criminal records to vote, their voice will never be heard publicly, which equals civil death, which is inappropriate in a modern society committed to the principles and equality of democracy. Our last argument is intended to prove that the right to vote shall be granted to citizens with criminal records, felons, and expatriates, which will contribute to the integrity and inclusivity of the society. Society as a whole is the origin of the state's power. However, why should expatriates who are residing abroad but still remain committed to their country be excluded from the election and referendum process? Countries with a large diaspora, such as Italy, have adopted a legislation that not only provides the right to expatriates to vote, but a part of their member state parliament member must be elected from the citizens living abroad. In supporting of our thesis, in conclusion, I would like to point out the ruling of the Supreme Court of Canada in the case of Frank versus Canada, where the court found that voting is a fundamental political right which cannot be restricted without a compelling justification. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for your submission. Tallinn University of Technology, you have 4 minutes for your opening statement.
I hope you can hear me and see me.
Yes.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sofia, and together with my teammates Zara Sebengi and Ilkana Alieva, we'll be defending that not all residents of a country must be allowed to participate in elections or referendums. There can be limitations to residents having criminal records or those who are no longer living in a country the majority of the time. limitations on country by country basis. And this is because every country's legal system reflects its societal values. Hence, we have different national laws with different structures. In some countries, individuals have been convicted of certain crimes, may be stripped of their rights to vote. For example, in the United States, some states have laws that disenfranchise people with convictions. And these are generally justified on the grounds that people who have violated the law have shown lack of no respect for societal rules and therefore should not have a say in its governance. Societies have different views, and therefore that is why countries autonomously make laws on how to handle matters like the electorate democratically through separation of powers. We can use the EU as an example. The Union leaves the decision of the eligibility of the electorate to the member states. Paragraph 1 of Article 39 of the EU Charter of Fundamental Rights relating to the voting in the European Parliament states that every citizen of the Union has the right to vote in the elections of the European Parliament in the member states in which they reside, under the same conditions as the nationals of that state. From this, we can tell that the EU, founded on values like democracy, the rule of law, respect for human rights, leaves this to the member of states to determine the electorate's eligibility, trusting that the laws will be based on the principle of proportionality. This is also demonstrated in the case of Scopola versus Italy of May 2012. Scopola complained that the ban of his public the ban on voting, right, resulted in I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so in 2002, he was sentenced to a life imprisonment for murder and other charges. And under the Italian law, the sentencing, under the Italian law, this, oh my goodness. Oh, okay.
Okay, we pause the timer. Take your time.
Okay, I'm sorry about this. Okay, so I'll start. Sorry. Okay, this is demonstrated in the case of Scopola versus Italy. Scopola complained that the ban on public office imposed on him as a result of his sentence for murder amounted to a permanent forfeiture of his right to vote. In 2002, he was sentenced to life imprisonment for murder and other charges. And under the Italian law, his life sentence entailed a life ban on public office, which affected his right to vote. But the court held that there has not been a violation of Article 3 of Protocol 1 of the European Conventions of Human Rights. It noted that under the Italian law, prisoners convicted of certain offenses against the state lost their right to vote, and therefore there was no automatic discriminate restriction. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your submissions. We are now entering the rebuttals. Sofia University, you have 2 minutes for your first rebuttal.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
I would like to thank the opposition for their arguments. However, I shall respectfully disagree with them for the following statements. First, the right to vote is a fundamental human right incorporated in various international, national, and regional legal acts, such as the Universal Declaration on Human Rights in Article 21, as well as the International Covenant of Political and Civil Rights in Article 25. It is also recognized by the African, Inter-American, and European human rights legal systems. Second, the right to vote is linked to various other fundamental human rights, such as the right to freedom of expression and opinion, as well as the rights to equality and non-discrimination. So if the right to vote is to be limited, so will be these other fundamental human rights. Third, people with criminal records are also people, and as such, they deserve to have the right and the opportunity to enjoy their civil and political rights. In the case of Hearst versus the United Kingdom in 2004, the European Court of Human Rights has stated that without the opportunity to vote, people with criminal records remain in the state of civil debt. And last but not least, people who live abroad are also an important part of the society, and the simple fact that one spends most of their time abroad does not necessarily mean that they are no longer citizens of a country, or nor that they should not be granted the right to vote. Various countries, such as Italy and Bulgaria, have assured that their citizens will have the opportunity to vote, to participate in elections and referendums. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Debate team from Tallinn University of Technology, you have 2 minutes for your first rebuttal.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Specifically, we believe that allowing everyone, even people with criminal records or those who don't live in the country for most of year, to vote in an election or referendum could have negative effects on society. Allowing individuals who have committed serious crimes to vote may be interpreted as a tolerating or even rewarding illegal conduct. In some countries, people who have been found guilty for specific crimes may not be permitted to vote. In the UK, individuals convicted of certain crimes automatically disqualified from voting elections or referendums. These crimes include corrupted or illegal electoral practices and serious offences resulting in imprisonment sentences for more than 5 years. Disqualifications last for duration sentence, including time probation or parole. Allowing vote in election or referendum can undermine the idea of representation based on residency. The Venice Commission of the Council of Europe recommends that voters have a genuine link electoral districts where they vote. This principle means that voters should have a vested interest in the community they're voting for, and that non-resident voters may not feel the understandable local issues. In the case of Harry versus Scott, found that Florida's process of allowing non-residents to vote in municipal elections violated to Equal Protection Clause of 14th Amendment, as it diluted voters' residents who have a stronger connection to the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To better accommodate the technical difficulties, I would kindly ask all the participants that are not speaking to close their cameras, so only the speaker and the timekeeper would have the cameras on. That said, Sofia University, you have 2 minutes for your second rebuttal.
Can I confirm that I'm audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
As the second speaker of the proposition, I would like to address the following arguments. Contrary to what the opposition said, denying someone the right to vote based on their criminal record or residency status can be viewed as a violation to their human rights. It is essential to uphold the principles of equality and fairness in any democratic process, and allowing all residents to participate is an important step towards achieving these goals. As one of my colleagues stated, in the case of Hearst versus the UK in 2004, the European Court of Human Rights has stated that without the opportunity to vote, people with criminal record remain in the state of a civil death, which is in direct contradiction with the principles of democracy and equality. Secondly, allowing all residents to participate encourages civic engagement and ensures that everyone's voice is heard. This can help foster a more engaged and informed citizenry, which is essential for the healthy functioning of a democracy. Article 25 of the International Covenant of civil and political rights stipulates that all citizens have the right to vote. Encouraging prisoners to see themselves as citizens helps reminding them that citizenship involves obligations and burdens as well as benefits. Lastly, allowing all residents to participate promotes inclusivity and creates a sense of responsibility for the outcome. It demonstrates a commitment to democratic values and principles which prioritize equal representation and participation. In the case of Frank et al. Versus the Attorney General of Canada in 2014, the applicant who had lived 21 years in Canada was deprived the right to vote due to the fact that he was living outside of Canada for more than 5 years. The Ontario Superior Court of Justice rendered a statement in which it declared a clear violation to his right to vote, as even prisoners had been granted this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. THIULDT debates team, you now have 2 minutes for your second rebuttal.
Would you please confirm that you can hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. I would like to address the first point opposite team mentioned, that it's their right. Yes, it is their right, but we know that if somebody is doing the criminal act, they already know that what will be the result. So they know that they might lose their freedom as well as some of their rights. It is one of their rights that they might lose it, and they act by knowing the consequences. Secondly, I would like to address the points that they also mentioned. People living abroad. I want to mention that people living abroad, majority of the time, they are no longer part of the society which they used to live previously, because they already choose to leave this country and they choose to live in another country and they choose to be part of this new society. So they are mostly affected by the decisions and by the actions of this country, these states. So they will no longer be affected by the previous country. So that's the reason that they will not be affected, and they do not need to vote it because they do not have enough knowledge of this country, the previous country, and they will not be affected. And later, it is not a discrimination. I want to mention that because yes, some of the people who left the prison, they are able to adapt to society. They can do it, but it is not the case for all of them. Unfortunately, it's the case for few of them, but most of them actually they struggle to adapt to society, and it is not a good decision to leave the future of the country to the people who are no longer able to make proper decisions. As you mentioned earlier, the U.S. example, and they are easily corrupted, and they are no longer can make the decisions. And yeah, that's all for my speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your submission. We are now in the conclusion part of the session. Debate team from Sofia University, you have 2 minutes.
Can I confirm that I'm audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
I would firstly like to thank the opposing side for their effort in presenting their arguments. However, we would like to disagree and provide the following statement. While it is true that individuals who commit crimes may have violated certain laws, it is important to remember that denying them the right to vote based solely on their criminal record is a violation of their human rights. Additionally, participating in the democratic process can help to promote rehabilitation and reintegration into the society. It is important to ensure that all residents have a voice and can participate in the shaping of the future of their community, regardless of their past actions. Secondly, while it is true that people and residents who do not live the majority of the time in the country may not have the same level of commitment, denying them the right to vote based on their residency status is discriminatory and goes against the principle of equal representation. Also, it's not fair to assume that all residents who live outside of the country are ignorant and disinterested in these matters. And lastly, non-citizens who may live and work in a country for an extended period of time may have a stake in the outcome of certain political decisions and should have the say in the process. Additionally, non-citizens may pay taxes, contribute to the economy, and be subject to the laws and regulations of a country, and therefore should have a voice in the political process. Throughout the course of this debate, we have demonstrated that all residents must be allowed to participate in an election or a referendum. Firstly, denying someone the right to vote based on their criminal record or residency status is seen as a violation of their human rights. Secondly, allowing all residents to participate promotes civic engagement and ensures that everyone's voice is heard. And last but not least, allowing all residents to participate promotes inclusivity and demonstrates a commitment to democratic values and principles. Thank you.
Thank you for your submission. Debate team from Tallinn University of Technology, you have 2 minutes for your conclusion.
Okay, thank you. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, I would like to thank the opposite team for their insights, but however, would like to state that the rights come with responsibilities. Rights come with responsibilities. So when people commit crimes, they know the consequences of their actions. So they know what would follow after that. So this means that this does not actually, is not against human rights, because in most countries actually have this law in their laws. So it's not against human rights. Even in the EU allows countries to be able to make such decisions, and the EU respects those decisions. That when people, there's some instances where criminal records actually affects a person's civic right, and this is due to voting. And now, just to bring this to a conclusion, we'd like to say that crimes have legal consequences, and this is why the penal code was created. When one commits a crime, it's actually a crime against society. It's against the state. They are breaking the public trust. How do we charge the government, the judge? How do we trust the judgment of such a person? And what we need to know, what we need to take into consideration is that fulfilling a sentence for conviction does not mean, that is not equal to rehabilitation, does not mean that you have been rehabilitated, right? And therefore we say that the act of crime unfortunately comes with some consequences, and in this case, the voting being one of them. And so we'd say, please, let's let the governments of sovereign states determine their own laws on how to maintain peace in their land. If legislature says if you commit a crime, you don't vote, then if you want to vote, you should not be committing a crime. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your submission, and thank you to both teams. We are now we have concluded the graded part of the match. You can relax, you can turn on your cameras. We'll do a little bit of feedback session. So I would be calling you and for the feedback. How did you find the preparation for the match? Again, it's your second day, day 2 of the group phase, so round 2 of the competition. So perhaps starting with Mr. Ivanchenko, how did you find the preparation and the match?
Well, I find the preparation quite stressful, if I must be honest. But nevertheless, it's really a once in a lifetime experience, because having the opportunity to communicate and to debate with such amazing people, it's really, really wonderful. When it comes to the tournament in itself, it's really a great opportunity for everyone as second language speakers. It's really lovely to have this opportunity to express ourselves in English. So this is it. And thank you very much to our opponents.
Thank you very much. Ms. Savimli, how did you find the preparation, the match?
For me, especially for the opposite part, it was hard to find a case law related to it, but thank you for my college. It was a good experience for me, and thank you for Bulgarian University debate team. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Perhaps adding another question to the feedback mix, did you hear any arguments that you have also prepared in advance in the opposing side? Mr. Kychkov, perhaps.
So yeah, I've heard some of the arguments that we had prepared, and the thing is, I would like to make a reference actually to a game of chess. So you need to know like what the next move will be, and you need to um, to find the correct evidence with which you can tackle that move. And it's actually very helpful because the whole process of preparation is very thoughtful, and you need to be thinking 3 moves ahead. So yeah, it's really like a thing that can make you go out of your comfort zone and really improve.
Thank you very much. Ms. Blasvage, how did you find it?
Today, I don't know why I am panicking or whatever, but yeah, today was a bit challenging. But I enjoyed the experience, and yeah, thanks to my team and also the opposition side as well for being such a good spot. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Again, really well. A good job to both teams. Ms. Malinova, how did you find the debate, the preparation?
As my colleague said, the preparation was quite stressful since we are all third year at the university, and it's also really stressful keeping up there. However, it was also really exciting because of all of the new things that we learned during the research we made to prepare our arguments for and against. So all in all, I am glad that we decided to participate and that we have the chance to be here today. So thank you as well.
Thank you very much. Ms. Alieva, how did you find the preparation, the match?
As everybody mentioned, this was quite difficult, kinda, but we tried to do our best, and we still have the difficult position, even so we not like even fully agree with it, but I think we did our best, and thank you for everybody. It was very nice debate.
Thank you very much. Really, the arguments and preparation was very visible in your presentations. Ms. Donskaya, coach from the Sofia University, if you would like to give a short feedback to the teams.
Sure. What I always say is that, you know, such great opportunities like this competition is an opportunity to improve yourself. But, you know, it's always the thing that matters is having fun and enjoying it. And that's what I also said to the guys in our team. You know, the important thing about all those experiences is just to enjoy it and have fun. So I hope everyone enjoyed today.
Thank you very much. I'll be passing the floor to my colleague who will be wrapping up the match today. Once more, well done. It was a pleasure and honor to see you. Please.
Yes, so many thanks indeed for this very interesting debate and the arguments you brought on both sides. Be aware that indeed every theme is a challenge because from one round to another round, it's another area of PIL or public international, or comparative commercial law. So you are exploring a new field, you are exploring as well new areas maybe that you have explored or you're not explored yet. But both teams have the same conditions, same time. So it's a good thing. Now a bit more informal aspects of this session. Yes, we have a team from Bulgaria, we have a team from Estonia. But now we would like to know if the Bulgarian students have been already at least once in Estonia, and same vice versa. So if Estonian teams have been already in Bulgaria. So Mr. Kuchukov, sorry again for my French. So have you been in Estonia?
Unfortunately, I haven't been, but it would be a pleasure for me to maybe visit Estonia in the future.
Okay, thank you. On the side of Tallinn, have you been in Bulgaria, Miss Alieva?
It's on my travel list. I hope I will be there one day.
Oh, yes, of course, soon. On the side of Sofia, Miss Mainova, have you been in Estonia or in Tallinn, more precisely?
No, I haven't been to Estonia, but I would definitely like to visit it. And also to Miss Alieva, whenever you decide to come, find our contacts and definitely call us to meet in person.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, that's why. I mean, you can ask the Corax Foundation for the contact information. And don't forget as well, in April, we'll have as well a networking moment with all the teams. So as you are I think on the same time zone. I think there is no reason for you to escape from this networking session, and of course you'll be able to discuss about other things as well on this debate. Now I give the floor as well to Miss Sivimli. Have you been in Bulgaria already?
Unfortunately, I haven't been in Bulgaria for now, but I would like to visit Bulgaria, especially Bulgaria have a special place in my heart because my grandmother from Bulgaria, so
Ah,
I hope one day.
do you know some words in Bulgaria? Bulgarian, sorry.
I'm sorry?
Do you know some words in Bulgarian language?
Not, but I know my Tanichka for this month.
Okay, that's a good start, you see. So yes, of course, the challenge will be for the other team to learn as well some words in the other language. And now I would like to ask as well, Mr. Svetlin Ivanchenko. So, have you been in Tallinn?
Well, I'm not gonna surprise you guys. I've never been to Estonia or Tallinn as the capital, but this summer I've seen a documentary about Estonia, and I really quite found the capital, Tallinn, very picturesque city. So I would highly recommend to everyone to go to Estonia together, guys, Martin and Victoria, this
Yes.
summer.
Okay, many thanks. I have to recommend that I think in the summer in Estonia there is a big sing festival which takes place not every year but every 2 or 3 years, and with a huge, I would say, number of singers in Tallinn. So yes, that's something I've seen myself. It's quite impressive. So on the side of Tallinn University, Miss Solo Fellow Emily Letache, have you been in Bulgaria?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
But,
Not
yeah,
yet.
I would like to go to Bulgaria.
Yes. So yes, of course, I've been as well in Sofia, and just to make sure that yes, there is no jealousy. I've been in both countries myself. So, and on the side of the coach, Miss Donskaya, have you been in Tallinn?
No, Mr. Laurent, I haven't, but it seems like a great idea to go and visit.
Yes. So now you have a contact where you can prepare as well. So many thanks to all of you. This is the end of this session. So now, yeah, it is time to finish that debate match. I want to thank everybody, and of course my colleague as well for hosting the match. You will have in a few days, as you know, the results of this match, which will count as well in view of qualification possibly for the 8th of finals. And next week you will receive the last topic for the debates for this group phase, so the third match, which will be against the last team that in that group that you did not have match with. So many thanks again, all of you. Have a good evening, and of course we keep in touch. Okay? Thank you. Bye bye.